Forget the game-winning shots and viral highlights. This story begins with a stunning development that sent shockwaves across the sports world. A move so unexpected that it caught fans, analysts, and industry insiders completely off guard. Michael Jordan, widely regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time, has reportedly made an extraordinary offer to Caitlin Clark, one that could redefine the future of women's sports. This wasn't a routine endorsement deal or a symbolic partnership. It was something far bigger. Jordan offered Clark an opportunity that very few athletes in history have ever been presented with: a path toward ownership. The moment the news surfaced, conversations across the basketball world came to a standstill. When a global icon like Jordan tells a young superstar to think beyond the court and begin building an empire, people pay attention. Today, Jordan is far more than a basketball legend. He is a billionaire entrepreneur who understands the business of sports better than almost anyone alive. His interest in Caitlin Clark isn't driven by emotion. It's driven by vision. He sees more than an elite player. He sees a transformational figure capable of reshaping an entire industry. Clark has rapidly evolved into one of the most influential athletes in modern sports. Her impact extends far beyond points and assists. She represents a powerful blend of athletic excellence, cultural relevance, and commercial appeal. In Jordan's eyes, she is not simply a rising star. She is the future. Throughout his career, Jordan has built a reputation for recognizing opportunities before the rest of the world catches on. This latest move reflects that same instinct. Rather than offering Clark another sponsorship agreement, he appears to be opening the door to something much greater: long-term influence, leadership, and legacy. The significance of such a partnership stretches well beyond a single athlete. It signals a new era for women's basketball, one where players are no longer limited to competing on the court, but are empowered to shape the business itself. Jordan's track record speaks for itself. From building one of the most successful athletic brands in history to becoming a major figure in franchise ownership, he has mastered the art of turning influence into lasting value. The Jordan brand generates billions in annual revenue, proving that his vision consistently delivers results. Now, that same mindset appears to be focused on Caitlin Clark. As both a legendary athlete and a business powerhouse, Jordan possesses a rare perspective. He understands what it takes to build not just a winning team, but a lasting empire. That is why this moment carries such enormous significance. What makes Clark particularly valuable is her ability to transcend sports. During her rookie season, she didn't merely attract attention. She transformed the conversation around women's basketball. Television ratings surged, arenas sold out, merchandise sales skyrocketed, and millions of new fans tuned in to watch her play. Every performance became an event. Every highlight generated massive engagement. Her influence extended beyond statistics and entered the realm of culture. Clark has become one of the most marketable athletes in the world, driving unprecedented interest from broadcasters, sponsors, investors, and fans alike. She is not simply participating in the growth of the league. She is accelerating it. Jordan recognizes that reality. He understands the enormous value of aligning with a figure capable of changing the trajectory of an entire sport. By potentially giving Clark a stake in ownership, he would be positioning her to help shape the future rather than simply compete within it. The implications could reach far beyond women's basketball. Investors would take notice. Media networks would increase their commitment. Corporate partners would deepen their involvement. History has shown that when Michael Jordan makes a move, the business world pays attention. The biggest question now is just how far Caitlin Clark can go. If her rookie season is any indication, the possibilities are virtually limitless. She has already shattered expectations, rewritten records, and elevated the visibility of women's basketball to unprecedented heights. And if this reported opportunity becomes reality, it may mark the beginning of something even bigger. A new blueprint for athlete empowerment, ownership, and influence in professional sports. Women's sports have already proven they can generate enormous revenue, command global attention, and shape culture on a worldwide scale. With Michael Jordan now aligning himself with Caitlin Clark's vision, the question is no longer whether women's basketball can grow. It's how far that growth can reach. This is where the story takes a remarkable turn. The concept of player ownership isn't merely innovative. It has the potential to redefine the entire structure of professional sports. Imagine a future where elite athletes are no longer just performers on the court, but influential decision makers in the boardroom. A future where players become executives, investors, and architects of the leagues they help build. For decades, many sports systems have rewarded ownership, while athletes generated the value. This emerging model flips that equation. It recognizes that players are more than assets within the product. They are partners in creating it. Granting Caitlin Clark genuine ownership influence would represent more than symbolic progress. It would signal a fundamental shift in power and opportunity. Rather than following existing models, the WNBA could position itself as a leader in sports innovation, setting standards that other leagues may eventually be forced to follow. Such a transformation would not happen quietly. It would capture headlines across the world because it represents more than a business arrangement. It represents a blueprint for the future of athlete empowerment. Jordan understands exactly what it takes to make that vision reality. Having navigated the complexities of ownership, investment, and sports politics, he knows how challenging the journey can be. That's precisely why his support carries so much weight. He isn't simply creating another endorsement opportunity. He's helping establish a foundation that could benefit generations of athletes to come. If this vision succeeds, its influence will extend far beyond basketball. Major leagues across the sports landscape, from football to baseball and beyond, would be watching closely. The idea of player ownership could quickly become one of the most important conversations in professional sports. Athletes everywhere would begin asking the same question: why shouldn't we have ownership stakes in the organizations we help elevate? That pressure could eventually force leagues to rethink outdated ownership structures and governance models. Traditional systems were never designed with athlete ownership in mind, but changing expectations often lead to changing rules. For years, players were largely excluded from executive decision-making. Today, that barrier is beginning to crack. Under the current framework, ownership groups control nearly all equity and long-term financial rewards. However, athletes like Caitlin Clark are proving that a single transformative figure can dramatically increase a league's value. Her impact on attendance, viewership, sponsorships, and media attention has demonstrated the immense economic power modern athletes possess. The conversation is no longer just about compensation. It's about equity, influence, and long-term participation in the success they help create. For leagues seeking sustainable growth, investing in star athletes means more than offering contracts. It means creating opportunities for meaningful involvement, enhanced facilities, stronger partnerships, and progressive policies that reflect the realities of modern sports business. And that's where the combined power of Nike and Jordan Brand becomes impossible to ignore. Together, they represent one of the most influential marketing ecosystems in sport history. Their global reach, financial strength, and storytelling capabilities could accelerate this movement at an unprecedented pace. Imagine worldwide campaigns celebrating a new era of women's sports. Signature apparel collections, exclusive footwear releases, premium documentaries, international events, packed arenas filled with fans embracing a brand that symbolizes both excellence and empowerment. The possibilities extend far beyond merchandise. This is strategic alignment at its highest level. Nike has already increased its commitment to women's athletics, while Jordan Brand continues to expand its influence across generations of athletes and fans. Combining that infrastructure with Caitlin Clark's growing global appeal creates a partnership capable of reshaping the commercial future of the sport. Michael Jordan built an empire by transforming athletic greatness into cultural significance. Now, he possesses the resources, experience, and influence to help another generational talent do the same. Together, they would represent a unique combination of sporting excellence and business leadership. Perhaps most importantly, Jordan Brand has never simply sold products. It has sold stories. It has built legends. And Caitlin Clark appears perfectly positioned to become the next chapter in that legacy. She possesses the talent, determination, charisma, and market appeal that define iconic athletes. Meanwhile, Jordan brings the experience, vision, and proven blueprint for turning greatness into a lasting empire. If those two forces truly come together, the impact could extend far beyond basketball and shape the future of sports for decades to come. Michael Jordan possesses something few individuals in sports history have ever had: the infrastructure, the proven business blueprint, and the global legacy required to transform an athlete into a worldwide phenomenon. This goes far beyond marketing or endorsements. This is a creation of a lasting legacy. For Caitlin Clark, the opportunity represents far more than attaching her name to a logo. It means inspiring an entire generation. Young athletes across the world would see someone who not only excels in her sport, but actively shapes its future. That's the kind of influence that changes culture. Imagine a young girl stepping onto a basketball court wearing Clark's signature shoes, seeing a role model who dominates on the court while helping to find the business of the game off it. That kind of representation doesn't just inspire ambition. It expands what's possible. This is why the Jordan Brand has always been more than a sneaker company. It sells belief. It challenges conventional thinking and encourages people to create their own path rather than follow someone else's. That same disruptive philosophy aligns perfectly with Caitlin Clark's rise. At the same time, Nike's growing investment in women's sports isn't driven solely by public perception. The numbers speak for themselves. Record-breaking television audiences, soaring merchandise sales, increasing sponsorship revenue, and unprecedented fan engagement have transformed women's basketball into one of the fastest-growing properties in sports. Caitlin Clark sits at the center of that momentum. A partnership built around Jordan's vision could reshape the future of women's basketball branding, opening the door for new signature products, expanded media opportunities, and global marketing campaigns. Competitors across the industry would undoubtedly take notice, attempting to replicate a model they didn't create. That's the advantage of being first. True innovation forces everyone else to react. With every major endorsement, every sold-out arena, and every successful product launch, the narrative surrounding women's basketball continues to evolve. The sport is no longer viewed as a niche market or developmental investment. It has become a major business opportunity with enormous long-term potential. Jordan understands that better than almost anyone, what he sees in Clark extends beyond talent. He sees determination, ambition, and the ability to reshape an industry. In many ways, he recognizes qualities that help fuel his own rise to global prominence.